Polynesian sailors, perhaps the greatest navigators that have ever existed, were the first to successfully travel the greatest expanse of water in our planet, the Pacific Ocean. And they did it without the use of any maps, charts, or sailing instruments. They knew their location in the vast ocean by knowing precisely where they had been and by paying careful attention to how they got to where they currently were. Navigation took place thanks to a deep and profound connection between their mental maps and a complete awareness of their journey. This is Peace and Conflict Fundamentals. My name is Andres Jimenez. So, you're thinking of traveling halfway around the world to become involved in a conflict in a foreign culture. Or maybe you want to work in a conflict-prone environment in a different city or in a different region of your country. Well, before you go and do that, you need to make sure that you have dedicated sufficient time and effort to explore who you are. Now, this would apply in general to any pursuit or interest that you might have. But it especially applies if you're interested in conflict work. Before you put yourself in a very difficult and challenging situation, and before you begin to try to make sense of a conflict in a context far away from your normal life, it is crucial that you know where you stand, that you know what is your life's story, what is your journey that has led you to be where you are at this very moment. And so there are 3 key points that you need to make sure that you are aware of. And the first one is that we don't exist in a vacuum. Who you are, what you look like, where you come from, and even your biases, your values, your triggers, your traumas, your convictions, your ego. All of this travels with us wherever we go, whether you're conscious of it or not. And all of these elements play a major role in how we are perceived in any given context. And they also profoundly influence how we perceive and make sense of the world around us. You may very well want to change some of these characteristics, or maybe not. You may agree with some of these labels, or you may not. But regardless, you need to be aware of their existence and how they affect you and your work. The second key element is that your personal journey is never ending. In organic systems, in the natural world, there are no clear start or end points. There are only transitions from one ecosystem to another, from one condition to another. And in that same way, our life is a constant journey from one stage of our life into another. Your personal journey is just as important as the work that you're trying to do. Both feed off each other and they can't really be separated, at least not if you want to try to have a balanced life. So, in other words, the work that you do should be helping you to become a better person at the same time. If you want to help others or if you want to contribute to the improvement of someone's life or society in general, then the work that you do should also be helping you to navigate through the daily challenges that you face in your own journey. The Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg is a good example of precisely this point. It has been well documented how her profound commitment to her activism work has significantly helped her to cope with her own mental issues. Don't make the mistake of seeing the people that you want to help as somehow different than you. Their needs and their specific context may be radically different than yours, but it is very important that you understand that by going somewhere to help someone else, this act should also be helping you as well. Now, if this is not the case, then you should really question if this work might be right for you. The third and final key point: pay attention to how the work is affecting you. Conflict work, but also many types of work, can actually put a severe strain in your physical and emotional well-being, in your relationships with others and with yourself. And this means that you always need to protect yourself. And I don't just mean physically, but also psychologically and emotionally. Whether you do conflict work or any other type of work in general, you need to be aware of the toll that this work is taking on you. And you can't really know how you're being affected by the work that you do if you're not paying attention, if you're not cultivating a certain sense of awareness. So, 3 key points that would allow you to better understand the relationship between the work that you do and the journey that you're on. So remember that to be able to know and understand your journey is something that takes time, self-awareness, and moments of deep introspection. And remember, it is vital that you dedicate sufficient time and attention to reconnect with your journey.